Okay, folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the new trading week. This is Bob Desmond, and it is Saturday, the 29th of 2022. Okay, so before we get into it and we talk about the symbols that we're going to be watching for this coming week, and those symbols are VERV, ON, which is on Semiconductor, DIN, Dine Equity, AMZN, we all know that one, Amazon.com, and LABU, which is the leveraged ETF, putting you long of the biotechs, not for the faint of heart. Let's first talk about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Sunday Night Futures Live here on YouTube and or on Twitter, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about the opening futures action. To get notified 15 minutes to a half hour to us going live, there's a link below, my 5-part video tutorial on my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. Take advantage of it, free of charge. For our charting software this week, we will be using our sponsor. Our sponsor is TrendSpider, the Pimp Mac Daddy of automated technical analysis. The stocks that we found last week and this week were all found using the scanner right here, the scanner on TrendSpider. There's a 35% discount code below. Use that link, head on over, check out their tutorials. They give a 7-day free trial offer. Folks, I believe in it so much, I give it away free to our silver and gold level members, to the contrarian trader. So take advantage of it. Let's get to it. So before we move into the charts that we're watching for this trading week, let's first talk about the closing price action of the S&P 500 on the week last week. How did it close? It closed very strong. What's the path of least resistance as we move into the new trading week? I'm going to give odds to bulls and that we're going to get a continuation move higher on the S&P 500. I've already done the week ahead commentary with members. Members, you can find that in the members area on the Contrarian Trader, and we lay out our strategy for the new trading week. So we closed up nearly 3.5% on the S&P 500, but other sectors were doing better than the S&P 500. You had the banks, which are up significantly better than the S&P 500. You had the Dow Jones of all indexes perform better than the S&P 500. What weighed on the S&P 500? Believe it or not, the triple Qs. Not so much Apple, but the rest of those stocks weighed on the S&P 500. So we're still in the bullish camp as we were this time last week. Now, taking a look at the charts I went over last week, let's see how we did last week on these names. UNH, upper left-hand corner, that rallied nearly 2.5% on the week. These are all weekly charts. BP, British Petroleum, it rallied 4.87% on the week. Apache, my dad watched last week's video. He bought Apache, and that rallied 4.94%. AXON, that rallied nearly 8.5%. So can you still buy these names now? Not AXON. It's too far gone beyond its buy point. Apache, on a pullback and a retest of, say, 43.50, yes. UNH, momentum stock now. You can buy it on a new weekly higher high. BP, no. BP rallied up and into the rising upper band of resistance. So I would expect that we're going to pause, pull back, try to put in a higher low. So I would not go chasing BP right here, right now. Other stocks that we talked about last week were Goldman Sachs. You can see here on the left, I have a weekly chart up top. It rallied on the week by over 4%. Would I buy it here? Probably not, because down below in this box, I have the daily chart. You can see that it's rallied up and into resistance. So I wouldn't chase it here. It's a little bit too far extended. You're going to need to get a pullback and a higher low, and then I would entertain getting long. Another chart that we discussed last week was ILF. This is an international fund. Now on the week, it had an inside week. It was down 2.24%. But on the daily chart, you saw a bullish key reversal bar on Friday. Pretty good price action. And the final chart that we went over last week was Decker's. Now, on the week, it closed down 4.78%. Now, this is one I would not entertain trading. The reason is that we had broken out here the week of October the 17th And that was a buy signal. The however is we saw a sell signal the following week, meaning I mentioned last week, watch for a pullback and a retest of support. If it holds, well, then Deckers then becomes a buy on a pullback and support. We expected kind of what we got. What we had hoped for, though, was that we would hold support. It didn't hold it. We broke back down into this trading range. Therefore, you need to avoid like the plague. Here's the daily chart down below, and you can see that the automated breakout, and in this case, a breakdown point, fired off, as noted by this circle. And I can confirm that this is very, very valid. You want to avoid Deckers at current. Perhaps if we break back out this time next week, we'll be talking about it as a bull stock. But as it stands right now, we're waiting for the setup. We let the setups come to us. We do not chase them. So let's move on now. Let's talk about the charts that we're looking at for the new trading week. First up will be VERVE Therapeutics. This VERV. To the left, we have a weekly chart. To the right, we have a daily chart. Now, why do we like the chart? Well, for multiple reasons. One, VERV broke out last week, not above one resistance level down here in purple, but it also broke out above the algorithm-driven resistance level up here at $39.75. What do I mean by algorithm? Here's your automated trend lines. Click of a button, it comes off, throw it back on. That's the algorithm doing the work for you. So VERV, what we're going to be looking for here is a retest of the breakout point, which I'm a huge fan of. We're looking for a breakout point retest. We'll keep this active. 9 days works. Our alert is set. We're good to go. Why else do we like it? Daily chart, a breakout. Actually, I set up the alert on the wrong chart, but you get the drift. It's the same deal here on the daily chart. Same support level. You could see that RSI is, pardon my voice, folks, a little bit of a scratchy throat. RSI putting in higher lows and higher highs. So VERV looking very strong into the new trading week. We're looking for a pullback, retest, and a breakout point. Folks, we send out alerts to our members when we enter and exit these trades. Members, I'll be putting the price target for these names as well as buy entry points and stop loss points in the members area. Go check them out. On Semiconductor. Now, the weekly chart gives us pause, right? We have a candlestick which has moved up into its VWAP, volume weighted moving average, in orange, and also two resistance levels immediately above. So the weekly chart gives us a little bit of pause. The MACD, Stokes look good. They appear as though they're ready to flatten out, hook back up. But we're not going to hope for a breakout on a weekly time frame. We're going to buy on the breakout. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to set an alert, breakthrough. I care about the weekly chart, not so much the daily chart. And we'll look to buy the breakout weekly time frame. This one will keep active for 14 days. We don't want any sensitivity, meaning we only care if it closes above resistance, not in the neighborhood of, and our alert is set. Daily chart to our right here. A beautiful chart as noted by the higher lows. Great stuff. You have resistance above at 69.54. Our alert is set already on the weekly chart, so we don't need to do anything here. So the stars are in alignment for a breakout on Semiconductor, but the key is we need to wait for a breakout above resistance. Volume on Friday, very strong. The next chart up, DineEquity, weekly chart to the left, daily chart to the right. Now, DineEquity came very close to a breakout last week. Let's be conservative. Let's say we closed at resistance. We'll keep this alert active, again, for 14 days. Our alert is set. Now we forget it. Daily chart, we saw a breakout on Friday. Perhaps we'll do a retest of the breakout point. Next resistance level up at around 74.75. Our stochastics, which are our momentum indicators, are putting in higher lows, as well as the RSI. They're validating the price and the volume action. Take note of the automated trend lines. What they're clearly doing here is they're identifying for you, take them off, put them back on, upper band in red, lower band in blue, identifying the rising uptrend channel. Again, upper band in red, lower band in blue. The next chart that we're looking at for this trading week is more of an options trade, meaning we're not going to be looking to buy the shares of Amazon or buy the shares or the right to own Amazon using call options at a specific price. No. What I want to do is I want to own Amazon at a cheaper price, a significantly cheaper price, because on a weekly chart, Amazon, after reporting earnings, broke down really, really hard on Friday. Now, it did bounce off of support immediately below. How do I know it's support? Well, the algorithm's telling me. Click of a button. And we bounced off of it. I do not think it's going to hold. I think we're moving down lower. What we'll look to do is sell puts, not buy puts. That's a bearish bet. We're going to look to sell puts and probably sell a call, creating a strangle. I'll sell a call above the highs of last week, and I'll sell a out-of-the-money put option, and we'll just generate cash flow off the sale of the options. The daily chart, not telling much of a story here, just that we did respect support levels and we managed to close back above a prior resistance level. Now it should act as support. But if it does not, meaning if we fail to hold this support level, well, in all probability, Amazon, well, that becomes a short. Not that we're going to be shorting it, but shorts will perceive it as such. We're just going to trade the options and look to generate cash flow. Let's keep this active for 12 days. That works. We're good. Amazon in the books. We set it and forget it. Now, the final chart we're going to be going over this week, folks, is LABU. If I didn't say it earlier, I believe I did, but I'm going to repeat it for disclosure purposes. We own LABU, and we are very bullish on LABU. Let's begin with the weekly chart. We broke out last week, recaptured a prior support level, and we did it on volume, RSI rising, Stokes are rising. Now on a daily chart, to our right, we have an upper band of rising resistance. So that's just telling us, hey, before you get aggressively long here, let's make sure that this resistance level in red has become support. How does that happen? Well, you got to break out above it. You got to close there. So we're going to create an alert. The strategy that we use at the Contrarian Trader is a rules-based approach. If this, then that. Meaning, I'll get aggressively long if we break out above this resistance level. Until then, well, I might just sell naked puts, generating cash flow until the shares perform as we expect. Our alert is set. We're good to go. Now we forget it. And those are our stocks for the new trading week, folks. So again, as a reminder, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join us on Sunday Night Futures Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be going over the opening price action of the futures. We'll be talking about stock market news live and how that news may impact the price action of the stock market moving into the new trading week. We'll talk about earnings and we'll talk about economic data that is coming up as well that could influence how you make money. So join us. As a reminder, our sponsor, TrendSpider, you get 35% discount code below. Head on over, take advantage of their 7-day free trial offer. I give it away free with our 14-day free trial offer to silver and gold level members. And don't forget, once you join up, please head on over to our forum, say hello, and join in with a bunch of very intelligent and successful people that are in our forum. Say hello. And until tomorrow night, everybody have an awesome Saturday night. Be well.